Number 11 and number 12 from the Pert practice test, they both say multiply. This one gives me a binomial times a binomial. And this one here, that's a binomial times a binomial also. I can scratch out that x squared and just write down 2n minus 3. So it's 2 times. And as I said before, if you know me at all, if I have to multiply binomials, I like setting up these Punnet squares or the box method. So I'm going to stack this 2g minus 3 on top. And this 5g plus 2 on the vertical. And this is the same as, again, this is the same as doing the FOIL method. It's just a graphical organizer. So 5g times 2g, that's going to give me 10g squared. 5g times negative 3, that gives me negative 15g. 2 times 2g, that's going to give me 4g. And 2 times negative 3, that gives me negative 6. Now what happens is that most of the time you can combine like terms on the diagonal. And this happens in this instance. So inside I'm going to combine like terms. I'm done multiplying. So the 10g squared has nothing like it. That comes out. 4g minus 15g, well, that's going to give me a negative 11g. And then there's nothing like negative 6, so I bring down minus 6. Let's see if anything lines up with that for number 11 from our Pert practice. And there it is, choice A. Choice A lines up nicely. 10g squared minus 11g minus 6. Now let's go over and try number 12. It's the same type of problem. And I rewrote that as 2n minus 3 times 2n minus 3. That's what that means. You multiply it twice. So let's see. 2n times 2n, that's going to give me 4n squared. 2n times negative 3, that gives me negative 6n. And negative 3 times 2n, that gives me negative 6n. Notice they're going to combine later on the diagonal. I'm going to add them. Negative 3 times negative 3, that gives me positive 9, because a negative times a negative is positive. Now let's see what happens when we CLT this case. We combine like terms. So I have 4n squared all by itself, so 4n squared comes out. And then on the diagonal, these combine nicely. Negative 6n minus 6n, that's going to give me a negative 12n or minus 12n. And last but not least, I have a plus 9. So I add that 9 at the end, and then I go ahead and take a look to see if any of these line up with my Pert choices. And there it is, 4n squared minus 12n plus 9 is choice G from the Pert practice test.